Money doesn't make you happy. So as a Brit, I find it complex talking about money. We don't really do it much. But I think it's a really important discussion to be had, especially the concept of whether money can make you happy or not. Here's my take on it. Basically, lack of money makes you miserable. If you are having to worry and stress and always be thinking where your next paycheck's coming from so that you can pay the rent, you can feed yourself, you can look after your loved one, that creates a massive amount of negative stress. And it stops you from being able to focus on building other parts of your life, whether it's your relationships, your health, or building a business. So the people who say that money doesn't bring you happiness, generally they're coming from a position where they have enough money that they aren't worrying about it and they're not scraping by day to day. For that reason, whenever I hear somebody say money doesn't buy you happiness, I kind of feel annoyed with them because they probably haven't been in a position where they've realized how miserable you can be without any. So personally, I've been in places where I've had absolutely no money. I've run out of money several times. But I also spent a few years of my life in what feels like a completely different life right now, basically in a family of billionaires. So I've seen both ends of the spectrum. And personally, my happiness level between being very wealthy and having very little didn't change that much. As long as I had enough to feed myself, clothe myself, house myself, I was generally at a base level of happiness. And there is research that also supports this. Basically, your level of happiness goes up and up and up and up as your income level increases, taking you away from an area of scarcity where you're having to worry about that every single day. But as soon as you hit around double the average income of the city that you reside in, then there's a massive diminishing return in terms of how much extra happiness you get for each pound or dollar of extra income. So for example, the average income in London, where I live, is about 45,000. You are going to get happier and happier and happier, and your lifestyle is going to improve as you go up and up and up above that 45,000 until you hit around 90,000, which is double the city's average. At this point, it kind of plateaus. There's a diminishing return. So having millions of pounds a year or hundreds of millions is not going to make you that much happier than having 90,000 or 100,000. So there are two things happening here. As you get additional income, you're taking yourself out of scarcity where you're having to worry about income every day. And as you're approaching that double the average for your city, you're able to really enjoy everything that's going on around you without having to worry too much about cash. Beyond that point, though, you don't get that much marginal happiness for each extra dollar. So obviously this isn't as concise as money doesn't buy you happiness. So the saying should be money can buy you happiness up to twice the average of the city that you reside in, and thereafter it's diminishing returns. But that's not really as catchy, is it?